Hey, what's going on, guys? Jay Will here again at Veterinary Review. Getting ready to give you guys a Marvel Legends review on the Marvel Legends 2-pack, Knull and Venom. And man, I gotta say, I was excited as all get out to get this 2-pack. Been waiting on them for a while. I definitely was very impressed by the storyline of the God in Black, or the King in Black, rather. So once I read that comic book, or I watched some reviews on the comic, I immediately knew that I definitely wanted to get this 2-pack. It was a must. Well, I definitely knew I wanted a Knull figure, so I didn't know they were going to come out with a Knull figure that fast. But once I kind of expected or felt like there was going to be one, yep, you can definitely believe I was definitely going to be wanting it. So as always, we're going to get into the package a little bit, and then we're going to do some comparisons and get into the figures. So I'm gonna slide these guys back here. Might take them off their stands just to, give them a little more stability. Yeah. Push you back a little bit. Alright, let's get into the box a little bit. And for the packaging, you kind of have this standard new windowless packaging that they're going with these days. Kind of been seeing some images about some swap outs here and there, so I was kind of like, fingers crossed, hoping that it was indeed the figures that I was looking for in this 2-pack. Don't want to get gypped or anything again. So, nice artwork of the figures on the front, Knull on the one side, Knull and Venom on the other side. Nice comic book artwork right there. As with the Renew Your Vows 2-pack, there wasn't a read-up that I could see or anything for these guys. So, but yeah, more figure artwork on the back. So nice. Got the Spider-Man logo right there. 60 amazing years, and they have been amazing. But yeah, pretty much it for the packaging. Put these guys to the side. Take a quick look just to kind of glance at the figures a little bit, just to kind of focus in on them a little bit. Knull himself he's a very tall figure, tall and lanky, kind of like how he's supposed to be in the comics. So yeah, pretty comic book accurate. This Venom, we've seen this Venom mold before on the first movie, Marvel Legends Venom. So I do have that figure, so I'm going to pull it out in a second. These wings for this figure are kind of heavy. They definitely like get them off balance a little bit, so I'm kind of pull these out just for the review purposes. Put these to the side a little bit in the back. And they don't plug in very well on mine. I don't know if there's a QC issue with several of them, but mine I might have to sand the pegs down just a little bit to get them to fit better in the holes. But we'll get to those in a second. But the two men of the hour. Yeah, not a bad scaling right there. Knull, of course, being the king of the symbiotes, he should be like a little bit taller than Venom himself. So yeah, that works for these guys. Back to back. Yeah, Knull is a little bit taller. So yeah, that works. I was going to bring in a few symbiotes so you can see how these guys look together. You got both of my Riot figures here. Kind of just make it look like oops. Balance. Yeah, there we go. Knull's Muscle. His two pretty much like twin goon guys. Look pretty nice. Then you bring in your Carnage figure. See how he looks together. For those of you that were up on the comics, you know that Carnage played a pretty significant role in the coming of Knull and how he arrived on Earth and everything and all that good stuff. I definitely liked his role before in the, I believe, the Maximum Carnage line or comic book run. So yeah, that worked pretty good. Just for another symbiote, we'll just throw a little bit of Venom in there just to kind of make it symmetrical. So yeah, he and his symbiotes, the Clentars, the Clentar species. Yeah, so that works. He definitely looks like he's the big guy in charge. Bring these guys out. And get into a couple of comparisons for Venom. Bringing a few of his doppelgangers or the Venomverse guys. They have the Marvel Legends Venom from the older days, back in the day. Have the recent 3-pack Marvel Legends Venom. Bring these guys forward a little bit. We have the Marvel Select Venom as well. And then, of course, we have the Venom movie Venom from the first one. This one I do get a little bit of trouble trying to balance because his feet are kind of wonky. Yeah, lots of Venomy goodness. I love all the black and white. Put these guys to the side so I can kind of look in a little bit closer on the movie Venom and the 2-pack here. So as you guys can see, these two kind of utilize the same body mold. Same height and everything, just different head sculpts. One is more comic book accurate, while one, of course, is from the movie. And with the movie, of course, he hadn't come across Spider-Man or anything like that yet, so he had no reason to have the spider symbol on his chest, so they kind of just went with this white veiny look that I believe may eventually become the spider on his chest and back once he comes across Spider-Man in his universe. I'm betting it's going to be Andrew Garfield. I'm thinking it's going to be Andrew. Hoping it's Tom, but probably Andrew. So put you back to the side. And let's get into the accessories these figures come with real quick. And then we get into the figures. So for this 2-pack, you get an alternate Knull head. Kind of like just a relaxed, kind of just like staring at your face. Like, not impressed. Whatever. Then you get kind of like a cheesing, grinny Venom head. Where he kind of just retracted his tongue. His huge, like 3-foot tongue. Then you get a pair of down to business hands for Venom. So nice. And of course you get these feet on these guys. You get the all black, the Necro sword. And the detailing on this guy, this sword is pretty nice. Pretty smooth black throughout. Mine's a little bit warped, I kind of think. I might heat it up and kind of try to straighten it out a little bit. But yeah, paint is very clean on it, even on the handle. So yeah. Very nice black all the way throughout. And so guys, we are ready to get down to the figures themselves. Down to brass tacks. Let's see what the figures can do. If they... Come on, zoom in. Focus, focus. There you go. Okay. We'll go ahead and start with the King. And man, I gotta tell you, this, like I said, this is a pretty tall guy, so I was very impressed with his scope and overall design. But, start with the head. Head is hindered, of course, by his beautiful, wavy, luscious white hair. So it stops right there on his back, so it doesn't allow him to look up very far. He can look down very far. Well, relatively, he can touch his chin to his chest. Kind of hold it there. Side to side movement, of course. A little bit of neck wobble. He has a new kind of joint that I've seen. Well, not really new, but he has a dual joint, one in the neck and upper part of the neck and the lower part in his chest. So he gets like a bit of a side to side motion right there in his neck, and of course head tilt. So that's kind of new for me, but I love it. Then you get shoulders that move out that far. He has these little rubbery, soft plastic pads on his shoulders right there. So yeah, move with his arm. Shoulders move out that far. Front and back motion can go all the way around. The rubber piece is attached with, like, kind of similar to the Mark III Iron Man that I just did or whatever. So yeah, the piece goes around with his shoulder. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbows that bend pretty far. That's nice. Side to side motion on the wrist, or rotation motion. Then you get up and down. Then you have a waist cut that goes back that far, so it gets a good little crunch backwards. pretty decent crunch forward, but it is hindered by the chest armor piece right here, this little soft plastic. So you can work your way around that. Awesome. Waist cut that's covered up by his little belt deal here. Legs kick out that far. You can see that, but it's kind of course hindered by his skirt deal there. And it kicks out pretty far, but of course, like I said, the skirt right there kind of gets in the way. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees that bend pretty far for a bigger guy, even though he's kind of like on the lanky side. I'll give it to him. No boot cut or anything, but it does get the ankle pivot as well as up and down motion. So yeah, that works. Don't think he needs to move around too much for who the character is. So that works for Mr. Knull, the King in Black. Now we'll take a look at one of my favorite characters. Definitely like top 5, Venom. We are Venom. I definitely am impressed by the paint job. The paint is not too dissimilar from the movie Venom's paint. So they're pretty much very similar as far as like the glossiness, the dark black that goes all the way through. So can't be too hard to paint a figure when most of them is black. But they did a pretty good job. The paint lines on the white spider are pretty clean. No smudges or anything like that, except for maybe this one right there at his back. If you guys can see it on the camera, it's like a little white, a little lack of white, and there's a little dot right here. But other than that, pretty clean. Good job. So, for articulation, head is kind of on a ball joint, so kind of hindered right there, but it does kind of look up just slightly, ever so slightly. Looks down pretty far. Well, relatively, because of course his jaws open up pretty far, but it can sort of touch his chin to his chest. Side to side motion, of course. Shoulders move out that far so it can go above parallel, which is always nice. Full lateral raise. Around the world motion. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbows that bends very far. So he can fold his arm up pretty good, like that. Wrist rotation. Up and down motion. So nice. Definitely love that. Kind of comes out on me a little bit with his wrist joint. He has one of the I'd say around the world kind of waist swivels, so you can kind of just go everywhere with this. Of course, that allows for rotation as well. He has a waist cut as well just beneath that allows him to bend back that far. The combination of the waist swivel. That's nice. So they weren't able to give him the waist cut either. So I kind of feel like his whole torso design right there is kind of similar, or very similar to the Spider-Man mold from the Renew Your Vows 2-pack. They both have the waist swivel and the waist cut as well. So yeah, they may be meant to be, you know, for each other, you know, counterparts type of deal. Comic book Spidey and the comic book Venom now. The very similar torso portions. So that's nice. Oh, they're made for each other. Legs kick out that far to the sides. So not full split, but almost. Kick out this far, so pretty far. You can do like a whole "this is Sparta" kind of move. Doesn't go back very far. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed knees that bend very far. Of course, I always love that. I mean, like, look at that. Like how far it bends. Like it's like a full bend like that. Calf to thigh. Love it. Absolutely love the articulation part of that. But that's just on that part alone on the leg. Ankle pivot with the up and down motion. And he has the Venom separated toes right there. Like the movie version as well. So that may be getting ready to become a thing for Venom. I'm not sure if they're going to keep that running. But I wouldn't mind if they do. Because, you know, he's not in a suit like Spidey. You know, so he doesn't have to have kind of sock type deals on. So he can just have his toes out. Let his hair down, relax a little bit. But yeah, this is definitely a very... Oh, before I forget, just to get to you guys' wings. The wings come separated, you know, like the little body bag deals there. So you kind of have to pop them together individually. And he has the peg deal that plugs into his back. Like I said, mine does not plug in very well, so I kind of like give him a static pose to kind of make these work. They plug into these 2 holes right here on the back. Very simple, just like that. So it comes with 2 of these, of course. And the span is like very big. I did not expect it. It's almost like what, like 7-8 inches almost worth of just span on one wing. So it's very nice. Good paint job all the way through with the holes. Kind of, I guess they're going for like a bat kind of deal with the whole spines there, like the fingers and whatnot. So that works for Venom. Makes him look extra creepy, whatnot. So yeah. And of course it separates right there in the middle due to the separation point right there. So yeah, you get the, like a little separation right there. If you want to expand his wings out a little bit more. Nice. And of course the peg moves front and back, allowing for him to fan his wings out like he's flapping them. So nice. And so yeah, definitely a great 2-pack. I really appreciate the molds, the design, the sculpting of everything. They really look very intimidating for these 2 guys. I feel like I've picked these guys up. I'm trying to remember the pricing here. I got them like, you know, months ago. Like back during the summertime when I was just ordering stuff while I was overseas. But I think I got them when they were discounted on Amazon as well for I think maybe like $55. What I paid with taxes and everything and shipping included, whatnot. So not too bad if you can come across these guys that price or maybe a little bit more. Go ahead and get them. You know, I definitely feel like that Venom is worth having in your collection as far as like a comic book Venom now, with like a very textured kind of like grainy look to him with the veins and like the grainy skin and whatnot. Like he looks really gooey, like how a symbiote is supposed to look, as opposed to kind of like they try to achieve it right here, like certain parts of the newer figure, but it's all the way throughout the 2-pack Venom. So yeah, definitely if you guys come across it, scoop it while you can, ASAP. And if you guys appreciated my video, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, leave your thoughts, and I will try to address them as well. And I will start coming back with more videos for you guys and everything. Appreciate the support, you guys all coming out watching my videos. Thank you so much. And as always, I will see you guys later. Take it easy.